Good morning, boys and girls. It is a beautiful morning out here. Brand new body of water. Coming out here to chase some giant fish. Now we are really in the full fall transition. I know I just posted some late summer videos, but this fall transition came quick. And really what sets up the fall transition for me is those first cold nights, those first cold snaps that gets these fish starting to want to move shallow. So you're going to have fish in all stages. You're going to have fish deep, you're going to have fish mid-depth, and you're going to have fish up on the bank. And so what you're going to be looking for are those transitional areas, those spots where there's a bunch of bait, and there's areas where those fish can move up to that shallow water quickly. And I hope to break that down for you guys in today's video. But for now, we're going to get out here on a brand new body of water that has giant smallmouth bass, and hopefully I have something to show you guys. Let's get after this thing. There's one on the A-rig. That's a big one. Oh, don't. There we go. Fish number one. And look how that one's built. I just got to get a gauge for how big that fish is. Zeros? Okay, that's the way to start a morning. 4.3. Heck yeah. Thanks, buddy. Many, many more of you to come, hopefully. You know, love it or hate it, this A-rig is such a fun way to get bit. I'm targeting these sloping points, and we had that really cold night, and these fish that want to eat are actually up on the flat. These deeper ones, and I'm on a pretty big pot of fish, these deeper ones don't necessarily want to go and play yet, but hopefully as this day goes on, we'll start to move out a little bit deeper. These deeper fish will want to actually bite a bait. But for now, I'm okay throwing this up on the flat. There's one. Oh, please be big. I can't tell. Yeah, you're pretty good. Yeah, it's another big. There were a bunch with it. It's another 4.5 euro. Yeah, it's like a 5-pounder. 478. Thanks, bud. Thanks, fish. I gotta get back in there. Dude, that fish ate it on the fall. I felt him eat it, but I saw there were a couple with him, so I decided not to set the hook right away. There's one. That one feels really big. No, I think you just got it funny. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, that is a big one. That one is so fat. Look at how fat that one is. That one is so fat. Holy smokes. Zeros. There's a 4.5. Whew. I'm sweating. I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off here in a second. Gosh, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's literally fish blowing up right there. This is wild. Oh my gosh. They're still going. Eat my A-rig. What I figured out so far is this A-rig has been the deal, and I don't think that chartreuse one might be. I might switch that up to just a straight white one because I get a lot of follows on this bait, but those bigger fish and the ones that seem to be eating right now seem to be following the A-rig off of that shallower water, up at about 15 foot of water. There is a mega school, and I mean a giant school, a little bit deeper in about 25, but I can't get them to go. I've seen them blow up on top, and I just can't get them to come up and eat. But what I'm looking for are these slower tapering flats off of that deeper water area, and that's where I seem to be finding a lot of these better quality fish up in that 15-foot range as it falls off into that 23 to 25 foot. So that's what we're looking for right now. The A-rig's been the deal. I expect that probably to change as that sun gets high and maybe some wind picks up a little bit. Maybe those fish will push out and those deeper ones will eat. But so far, it's been an incredible morning. We've had a handful of fish over 4 pounds, and we're just going to keep this thing rolling. There's one. Dead sticked. Small one. I have a feeling a lot of the small ones are grouped together. There's one. I don't know if it's big or not. Not a bad one. There's another one with him. Tricked you on that little Clearwater perch Minobi. Thanks, buddy. Not necessarily the size we're looking for, but it's first decent enough bite in a little while. Shallow again, less than 15 foot. I wonder if this calm sun has these fish pushing up shallow. He ate it on the fall. That might be a big one. I hope that's a big one. Not a bad one. Yeah, it's a big one. Oh, yes. It's another 3.5, 4 pounder. Smoking that Minobi. Look at that thing. What a fish. Clearwater perch Minobi. Fish stood no chance. I kind of figured the bite would slow down a little bit, and it definitely has. I think there's still fish in the areas where I found them earlier. It's just a little bit tougher to get them to go, but I did figure out that the bottom has to have some sort of cover on it, which whether it's grass or wood. These fish don't just want to be hanging out in the sand on the transition. I have caught a couple like that, but for the most part, the better ones have come right around that grass or that cover on top of the drop. So what I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to run around a little bit, look with the graph instead of looking with forward facing for a little while, see if I can't find some of those sweet spots where these fish might be hanging out, and hopefully, you know, catch at least a couple more good ones. There's one. I don't know if it's big or not. Oh, yep, that's big. That is big. Yep. Look at that. Yeah! Oh, that's funny. Those fish are still out there. There's another one. That's a small one. Ah, yeah. That is so cool. They're smoking that Minobi. I pushed out a little bit deeper. And, wow, they're smoking that Minobi. There's nothing over here either. Let's get a weight on that fish. There were a couple other ones with him, so I tossed him in the live well for a second. The one thing about this fish is he's thick to his tail. I bet this one goes 5. Yeah. 509. That's sweet. There's one. Feels big. That's not a good one. Fish are so fat in here. Look how fat that fish is. Super fat. Thanks, buddy. This Minobi really is good. If you guys haven't picked some up, it's a phenomenal bait. Basically, the concept can be rigged like a minnow with the flat side on top, or goby with the flat side on bottom. It has 2 different actions, but it's just super unique, perfect profile, and really good color designs that we came up with. You know, like I mentioned, this clear perch is meant for this time of year when these fish get on perch. You guys see it's working. A lot of times these fish will school by size, so like I just caught that one about 2.5–3 pounder. I would bet on this isolated piece of cover it's just a bunch of 2.5–3 pounders. with these smallmouth, especially late summertime when they school, a lot of times it's all by size. So like, you're not gonna catch a random 5-pounder in the middle of 2.5s. You might catch it nearby, but normally not right in the same spot. Dude, I haven't shown the other ones on camera, but that's the first fish I lost like that. That was giant. So it's been a little bit since I updated you guys, and I'm kind of sick to my stomach. I just lost an absolute giant fish. And that's actually the third big fish I've lost today. And when the bites are as hard to come by as they are, you can't let mental mistakes cost you fish. And really, when you lose fish like that, it's just not retying, it's not paying attention to your knot, it's not paying attention to your line. Normally, when I'm fishing, I run a swivel to my leader line, and I like that because you don't get that twist in your line, which I believe damages the integrity of that line. And so just not paying attention has cost me 3 fish today. I probably could have close to 25 pounds, and I know that last one was really, really big. So I try to stay like always right here when I'm fishing. I feel like that's the way you fish the best. So now we need to get back to that level, pay attention to what we're doing, focus on these fish. I think there's going to be a bite window coming up as the sun starts to go down. And hopefully I'll have another shot at a couple more big fish. There's one. Feels good. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. It's a really good one. It's probably another 3.5 pounder. Thanks, fish. That's gonna wrap it up. We're gonna end it on that A-rig fish. And I had a decent day. It was a good day. It could have been a really, really, really good day had I executed. Had I paid attention to my knots and not broken off the bites that I got, it could have been a really good day, because I believe at least 2 of the fish that I broke off were probably pretty close to that 5-pound range. Now, I did catch them on that A-rig early that had those 2.8 Beast Coast swimmers. I don't know that color really mattered, but I was using Pro Blue. And then I kind of switched it up with a bunch of different colors to see if it made a difference in getting more bites. The key player today was really this XA Baits Minobi in the clear perch color. They were feeding on perch really heavy. I caught a couple perch on the areas that I was fishing, and this bait does such a good job when they're feeding on perch because it looks just like what they're eating. So if you guys haven't picked up the Minobi, obviously check it out. But this clear perch color, this was designed for fishing in August and September. When these fish are keyed in on perch, this bait is my go-to on a drop shot. This color is just so good. All the products that I use are going to be linked down in the description below. I use that 7.1 medium light resolve for the drop shot, and then I use a professional 7.6 heavy TFO rod for that A-rig. 20 pound test on the A-rig, 8 to 6 pound test on the spinning rod for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. Check out all the products linked down in the description below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, tight lines. God bless. Pursue your passion.